What's going on, traders? Welcome back to day 20 of 25 days of trading. I want to talk to you about the strategy that you're trading probably isn't the problem. It's probably user error, getting in your own way, overcomplicating things, doing things we know we probably shouldn't and that don't fit the plan, and then we just want to blame the strategy or that we're not picking up the strategy correctly when we know we probably are. We're just doing things that we said we would stop. Let's take a look at this trader, for example, and like my own strategy, my full VWAP strategy is available for free now on AceFX TV. So if you go over here and use code FIRST, you'll get your first month free to check it out, study it, start trading it. Tune into the streams with that as well, right? That's only half the puzzle piece, going through the strategy. Then tune into the live streams. Every single morning we're live. You can go watch the replays and see us take these trades in action so you can understand them. But let's get back to this trade here of saying, how could we possibly mess this up? It's a winning setup. It fits the plan. Now you'll see first break of open range high here, that these horizontal lines, the first 15 minutes of the day. I never want to chase those. So that's part of the plan. Don't chase that. Okay, great. Don't chase it. Let it pull back to VWAP. I need to be long on a bullish day at this New York VWAP in black, right? As close to it, trying to trade the pullback for the next leg of extension back higher. Stop loss never goes at current structure. Current being the most current structure that we have to the left. Previous would be the higher lows back here. To be very conservative, you could even go with the higher low way back here. On other days, it won't look so far. But on this day, you also could say, keep me in the longs until we make a new low a day. Might seem aggressive sometimes, but you'll truly find out if the longs are going to hold or not. So the worst mistake you could do is get long at a great price, like the plan says, like your strategy says, but change the stop loss to current structure. Get swept out because every amateur has their stop loss here, and then it moves higher without you. Another thing you could do is, the strategy is following longs above VWAP. Yes, we want to be long if we're above it, but that doesn't mean just away from it. Just let me just get in long, right? No, it needs to be off of the VWAP with a proper stop loss. So you could have had a good entry on this, like the strategy called for, but the stop loss needs to also where the strategy calls for. Let's take a look at this quick scalp at the open. Like I said, opening range. Don't want to trade the first break if that would come down here. It also comes down to this overnight VWAP, so don't want to be short first of all. But then buyers take back this New York. Today it's blue. Okay, cool. Buyers are back in. If you're trading mid-range, and like I said, all this is in Futures 2.0, so if you've already seen it, you know these rules already. If we're trading mid-range, stop losses at the bottom of range, and take profits at the top. Because we're in the middle of a range, who knows if we're going to break out and sustain moves from it if we're trading in the middle of it. So if you get long here, don't take profits at the top and let it come back down for a loss. That's not the strategy. You didn't trade the strategy. You maybe traded the entry, but you didn't respect the strategy rules of how to get in and out because you had the opportunity to be green, even if it is 0.88R on this given day. I don't care. The plan says get out at the high, you get out at the high, no matter if it's 1.5R, 6R, or 0.5R. We have to get out at a level we know it could turn at. Otherwise, we're just risking giving our money back for no reason. And it then comes back higher, then back down. Very ugly day, right? Looking at this one. So this one, hopefully stop loss wouldn't come into a problem. But realistically, I guess you could now that I look at it. If you play the bounce off this New York like someone could have, I surely hope no one did, but you can go with a super tight stop there and get swept out. But let's say you don't do that because you know better. I had some people short it because we're below New York. And you can't argue it. We are below this New York VWAP for 2 minutes after just making a new high of day. And we're above the overnight VWAP. We've been the last hour above New York. So the first sign of sellers for 2 minutes, we're just going to chase momentum lower. I know personally, just from doing 1,000 markups of it, this could work. But I know I trade it way less consistently because it's buyers in control, higher highs, higher lows, above every VWAP. And now I'm saying, but go flip and go short, right? I'm asking the market to do that when it's more likely to just continue the trend that it's set in of bullish, right? It's the same reason we don't chase shorts back here. That's not actually in line with the trend. So this looks like, oh, we're going to sell off. Look at these lower highs on top. Nope. It actually just formed a higher low from back here. So the trend is actually bullish, rushing in, not really trading the strategy because in my strategy, at least, this is not one of the entries. It's an opportunity to short it and sometimes works out, like I said. I just know that's kind of like a reversal play of saying we're bullish, but I want to go bearish now. Sometimes the market flips and it does do that. A lot harder for me to try to do that than wait for buyers to step back in. Now long it with a good stop, trade it back in trend. Another note on this, how I talk about I'm trading pullbacks. This strategy is about pullbacks, trading back to where we've already been. Take profit can become an issue as well with many people, whether it's greed or whatever. If we're long at the New York VWAP, I'm not going to hard get out at this high, but I want to at least trade back to there, right? Because I know we've been there before. Let's get there again. But it's also just about momentum. Markets move in waves. If we're moving 5-6 candles all in the same direction for new highs, yes, it's very exciting. Oh my God, we're moving higher. This thing's going to skyrocket. It's probably not going to sustain very long unless it's news driven that we don't know about. So when it moves that quickly in one direction in my favor for a new high, I'm out. The worst thing to do would be let this potential win, float up here, come back down, and you make nothing. But you had a great entry. You didn't follow the exit strategy. The entry is half of it, obviously, because I could tell you when to buy it. And if you don't get out when I get out, you can even go back to this markup. I could scream at you, say, everyone get long. Everyone put your stop at the low. I get out here. I tell you I'm getting out here on stream, and you're like, all right, good for him. I'm going to try to see if we can go higher here. You don't. And you didn't make money, but we took the same trade. How could that be? It's not the strategy. It's the person clicking the buttons, following the strategy or not. Looking at this one here, wow, this is on NQ. Just a beautiful sight to see. Why I love the VWAP. I love this line. That my moves happen from this VWAP, as you've seen in all these markups. If I can position myself on a pullback to this New York VWAP, I really want to get interested to continue the trend. And as long as trend continues, we'll make some money. So what could we do if we know that's the strategy? Well, it's not chase higher highs or chase momentum, right? If I long it up here after it just bounced off, not a bad entry, just not as great as we could find. Or if you have a stop loss there for that entry, because you're probably not going to want to go at low a day for that case, it just looks a little bit different now. We're now molding and shifting that strategy to what we want to do because we just want to jump in, right? Where if we know I need to be long at New York, it pops, damn, I missed it. I should have been long down here. You don't just say, I want it to be long, can't do it anymore, so I'll just get long up here now. It's not the strategy. The strategy is New York VWAP bounces. So if it's not bouncing off of it, it's not the strategy. Same thing with take profits. Look at all of these. You get a clean bounce in 4 minutes. That's the most money you could have made out of this move. Or 4 minutes, you could hold for another 30 and watch it come back to your entry price and tag you out for break even. It's not the strategy. That's user error of why are we not securing gains when it moves that quickly for a new high a day in our direction. After we played the bounce, mission successful, it made a new high, let me secure my win. I could always get back long again and try to make more. I could get long again and try to make more. I'm not holding my positions all day long because we're probably going to pull back, probably tap my stop at some point. Let me just secure my win, get back in later. But if we're missing these bounces and now trying to long it up here, long it up there, sometimes they'll run for sure. If you have strong trend, a lot of prices will pay. But on these slower, grindy ones where it's, definitely buyers, but it's not just ripping faces off to the upside, if you can position yourself on the pullback, you'll be very happy with yourself and not get caught off of if someone longs it there because of the bounce. Not that it's a loser, but if it goes into immediate drawdown, start questioning yourself, oh my God, what am I doing? This is going to turn around. It's slowed up here. There's a roof up there. It can't go higher. That's not the strategy, my friend. That's just overthinking, overcomplicating, and fear of loss. And I'm going to break the rules too sometimes. Obviously, unfortunately, that this is just impatience. That's not the plan. All those trades we just said are pullbacks. So this, I guess, is a pullback, but to the VWAP, this black one. This one is not. So I'm shorting it at the low of day. I just said in all these other markups, I want to trade back to the high where we've already been. I want to trade back up to here. I want to trade back up to here, somewhere we've already been. Let me go get that next higher high, right? This one, I don't have the opportunity to go trade back to the low. I mean, it's right there. So I don't like that about it, but I got in anyways. Then it pulls back to New York. What do? I sell it back down to the low that I originally wanted, right? And look at the exit on this. If you sat through all this chop, slowly going lower, breaks for a new low, thank you very much. If you just let it ride, right back up, making no money. Or you put your stop loss at break even and you make no money, or you let it turn into a loss somehow. Or let's say you do follow the rules a little bit and you take half off. Why are we just letting that other half float there and get tapped out for nothing? The plan says stack them, base hits. I could find bounces off this view up multiple times per day, every week, every month. Let me just go for a little base hit and stack those, right? And this was following the plan after not following the strategy. This isn't the strategy's fault. That's my fault of thinking that I just want to get in. It's super bearish. This is the strategy where if I don't take that and it wins, you have to ask yourself, why wasn't I in that? I mean, this makes total sense to be in. That's the setup I should have waited for. I have to execute that. And notice the stop loss, plenty of room to find out if sellers are actually going to continue to hold this New York or not, right? So one more as we look here. Beautiful. Just an example of what the setup could be. Make a new low, pull back, short it off of the VWAP. But you could have sold it on this low a day break, off of no key level, not off the VWAP, and you get smoked for it if you have a tight stop loss there, right? So hopefully you guys found value in it. I don't want to discourage anyone, but it is the reality for a lot of it. You learn the strategy, you study it, you go through it, but you sometimes just can't follow it. And that's why we stream every single morning on AceFX TV, because you're going to go through Futures 2.0 here. You're going to understand it. All these trades are going to make sense to you. Yeah, I know what I want to do. I'm going to do it. But you're not going to do it, unfortunately, a lot of the time. So that's why I think it's beneficial to tune into stream every morning, see what we're doing, see what we're not doing, hold yourself accountable, let the chat know when you mess up, what you're thinking of doing, and get a little bit better each and every day at these impulses and at these rush trades. And that way you can follow the strategy a little bit more strictly and more consistently, all right? So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Take advantage of the first month free sale. End the year with us, start the year with us, whatever. Use code FIRST down below. I'll see you guys on stream.